Just 2.
There's a speed. That's
I actually
level
don't even think it's doing anything.
1 of 3. I feel like it's thinking about being warm. Like it's sitting there. There's got to be like another. That just makes time appear. Mode speed.
Swing.
There's a swing set. There's a rumba and a waltz setting on the heater.
There's a Zumba setting.
So thank you all for joining us in the cold open video testing situation. It looks like video is classy.
Yes.
We've got sound deactivated over here. Okay, we're ready to go. I hope you all stay tuned.
There we go. Yeah, I'm trying to get everything all set up here.
That's okay, because I need to open up the soundies.
Okay.
The sound guzzles. We need to make sure we've got your sound guzzles prepared.
That's true.
Because
It's been a minute.
Yeah, this is not the right project. I got to open up the radio station one. You guys wouldn't be around without the sound guzzles, right?
Gotta have sound gazelles.
Sound gazelles.
Man, there's so much stuff going on here.
Oh, I'm so glad you've got a nice pile of cluelessness.
I really do.
I'm ready to participate with you.
Do.
As soon as I get the sound guzzle prepared.
Michael Keaton.
Whoa.
Michael Keaton.
One of my favorite Keatons, you know what I'm saying?
Michael Ketosis?
Yeah. Michael Keto.
Michael Keto.
Okay, I'm going to start the real show. You ready? When I point at you, then you'll know your show's happening.
Michael Keto.
Yeah. Oh wait, you've got an actual intro.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make it happen. Get ready.
Intro me, dog.
Prepare.
Hide your strap-ons, put away your biscuits, and get ready for the ride of your life. It's time for free candy in the van of comedy. It's time for two clueless dudes.
What's up, everybody? It has been too long. It has been a couple of months. We had to take a nice little hiatus. Those who want to know, I am Mad Mike, a.k.a. Junk McGee, and I am here with the Waz, supposedly. Now, as you may notice, the Hank is no longer with us at the moment. He suffered a very tragic accident.
Did he really? Actually, I don't even know the truth, so I'm going to learn with you.
Yeah. So, honestly, my hats go off to his family right now. We're having to deal with just kind of an awful mess. He was very concerned with going to prison. Something happened. I don't want to I'll let him get into the specifics.
Wait, when will he get into it? Will he be here like next week or?
No, he thought there are things happening that could lead to him going away for a while.
So this isn't like, because I'm always grinning with whatever your premises are.
Right. So, well, this is a thing that could potentially happen to him, and I'm not going to say why. I'll let him, if he decides to talk about the why, I'll let him talk about the why. But
we
what
might
I
need
can
to
tell
get
you,
a recorded statement from him, and then okay.
But what I can tell you is what put him in the hospital.
Holy crap!
So, being concerned with potentially going to prison for 3 to 5, he realized that, you don't have a lot of options as far as occupation when you get into prison.
Not a lot of jobs you can do.
Right.
Okay.
So he decided, instead of he didn't want to be a bitch boy, right? So instead he decided to become a prison purse. Okay? So he was just experimenting with a bottle of Cholula sauce, just trying to see if he could make room up there to carry it around for a couple of days. And it went all the way in and it got stuck. And he wasn't able to get it out. So, and as you already know, he's already got a slip and slide all up in there. So it's very impressive that he got it in there to begin with. The doctors didn't think it was too funny because they now have to do rectal surgery.
But wait. So the object chosen is hot sauce, like
yeah. Well, because he figured that's probably the perfect size to sneak in like meth and stuff.
But if anything goes wrong, it's also hot sauce.
It's very spicy in your bunghole. Yeah. I told him he should have started with packets, You know, start with Taco Bell packets and work your way up to a large bottle of Cholula. I don't think you could just go straight large bottle Cholula.
If you had a friend with a 3D printer, you could print bigger and bigger gauges.
Of Cholulas. Yeah, exactly. That's how you do
Like
it.
when you gauge your ear, but
Only with Cholulas for your anus.
yeah, it's for your rear womb.
I think now we need to have like a Cholula anus scale, you know, from 1 to 10.
This can't be true.
Yeah, if we can get him on a little bit later, we'll see what he says.
You think we might be able to get him to talk to us
Thor,
today?
what's going on? Mom, howdy. Mom and Dad, howdy.
Let me tell you about what happened to my friend, Mom.
Yeah, so that's the unfortunacies behind.
Unfortunacies.
Yes, the man, the myth, the legend that is
Alleged legend.
allegedly allegifying.
So I might not be able to be here next week. I think I'm going to be on a 5G excursion because I do 5G now. For the people that missed it, I'm a 5G'er now. Actually, no. It's next week. I will be here. The one afterwards is the one I'll be.
All right.
Oh no, I'll be in time for both of them. I lied about all of it. So this was just a ruse to tell you about myself.
You doing 5G?
I'm doing 5G now.
So now, what's going to happen when they move to 6G?
Dude, I'm gonna make more money.
So what's the difference between? I mean, obviously there's one more G.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
From a 4 to a 5.
Yeah.
But like I don't. I mean,
It's
I guess it's
faster.
to the point where speeds are fast enough that you don't really notice a difference anymore. You know, it's like going from like they got like the 1080p to then you got like the LCD to the LED, and a lot of them you can't even tell the difference, you know, unless you get like the super duper high end stuff.
Yeah. Until you're like in a crowd, like at a concert or something, and everyone's using it, and then your phone doesn't work anymore, and you can't stream in the other direction, and
That's
stuff
the
like
worst.
that. And so that'll
And you
help
can't
with that.
reach your anal Cholula because it's too crowded, and your burrito's just dry.
Well, yeah, there's so many layers to deal with that.
Like an onion.
Because I mean, a dry burrito is a whole separate issue.
It really
So
is.
You shouldn't even be there with that situation anyway.
Nobody wants to choke on a dry burrito. That's just how it is.
So you're just trying to add too much to your concert experience at that point. Like, just enjoy the show, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
You need a burrito too? Come on.
Yeah, relax. Have some mics.
There we go.
All right, folks. So there is a whole lot that has happened since I've not been here in the movie world, and we're gonna kind of jump right into some of this.
Okay, let's bumper the movie segment. Get ready.
All right, let's do it.
Movie time. Woo!
All right. So first off, do you remember Santa Clarita Diet on Netflix?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the actual creator wants to make a season 4. However, I don't think any of the actual stars do. I did like it, and I thought it was really cool to see Timothy Olyphant in kind of that comedy type role.
I couldn't finish an episode.
Really?
Like I popped in an episode that wasn't the first one. Someone else was watching it.
I'm not a big Drew
And
Barrymore
I was just,
fan.
yeah, Drew Barrymore eating people. It just was like too cheesy. And I didn't have any substance to lock onto to like get into it.
But Timothy Olyphant was really what makes the show.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen it, it's at least worth watching because
How do you describe the plot?
I would describe the plot. It's campy, a little corny.
It's too campy. And I
but
like Batman.
Basically, they order some bad like oyster soup or something. She winds up eating this bad oyster soup, goes on this vomit spree. What up, Duffster? And then after this vomit spree, she basically dies, but then comes back to life, and then finds out she's got all these. She's like sexually insatiable type deal, and like she's got tons of energy and she wants everything, but then all of a sudden she wants to eat people, and parts of her body start falling off if she doesn't eat people, and they're still trying to figure out why this is all a thing. And then there's this other faction that's trying to find all these zombie-like creatures and kill them.
Oh, okay. There's some layers there
There
that are
are some
interesting.
layers. There are some
How
layers.
did the season end though? Because that would really determine if like it's time for another season or not.
Well, that's the thing.
Was
the way
it
the
very
last season-
conclusive?
I mean, no. But it ended with a character. I'm not going to say who because I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but a character winds up getting turned to being a zombie. And it kind of was like oh, man. You know? because that character was so good at not being a zombie that you kind of didn't want him to be a zombie, you know.
Okay.
But really good show. I definitely recommend it if you're looking for something just kind of weird, different, and wild to put on. It's not a bad show. Definitely check out Santa Clarita Diet.
You know, it's anything biological I get away from, you know?
Yeah.
Like any kind of guts that aren't like psychological guts, whatever that means.
Cycle, yes. Well, let's see here. What it says here is Victor Fresco is ready to move forward with new ideas for season 4. That's something that I would think all would want to do if everyone was available. Emotionally, everyone on the show would love to do some kind of closure. We thought it would be fun to do a season with Joel and Sheila in the same boat. What would that look like? Joel and Sheila are two of the main characters. So right now, I would say it's just a matter of getting them back together and doing it, which is kind of interesting because it's a very similar thing that happened to Arrested Development.
Oh,
Arrested
no.
Development
And then it came back, right?
Yeah, it took like a 4 or 5 year hiatus.
That was so worth it, though.
Came back and did one more season, basically. It did one season in 2 parts, like 18 episodes. And it was great.
Do you have your kablingis on?
I do have my kablingis.
Yeah, then you got people
Boom.
like touching their legs when they're listening to the podcast. You ever do that?
Oh, yeah.
Like someone on a pod you're listening to has a little ding dong ring.
And now they're looking at their phone because they think it's theirs.
Yeah, and I'll check my phone, and
I just turn it on.
and then like my leg will vibrate, like I've got like a trained muscle spasm.
Whoa.
It's kind of nice.
That's pretty wild, man. So, with that, I guess, so Arrested Development was the same thing, but then they did the one season. Then apparently there was a big fight amongst Jessica Walters and some of the other cast. The guy that plays Job. Things just kind of fell apart.
It's weird when shows get canceled and then brought back. Like Family Guy was a crazy example of that, where like this cult following brought it back so hard.
Yeah.
And I like that there can be media like that that's like not for everybody, but it still has a big enough audience of the people it's for to survive. And that's a great point to ask you all to tell your friends and neighbors. Two Clueless Dudes is back.
TCD, baby.
We can do it without you, but we don't want it. It's better with you.
It's absolutely
community driven. Get ready.
So much so. So let's jump right into something else that's kind of awesome. Do you remember the movie Short Circuit?
It's one of my favorite movies ever, dude.
They are doing
Johnny Five is alive.
There is a remake coming.
Please, yes.
There is a remake of Short. Yeah, Johnny Five was the coolest thing.
I wish they did a prequel, not a remake. Because it's such a simple plot. Like, why not do a totally new one? Because the second one was so good. Remember Johnny Five 2?
Oh, Johnny Five 2 is the best one. Yeah, Short Circuit 2 was great.
Still shortened.
That's when he thought he was going to die. No disassemble, Johnny Five.
No disassemble.
And he gets like the mohawk.
Kick your nuts into outer space.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think that was great.
And it's gold plated at the end, which is really lame.
I know.
Like, you don't want to see a sequel where he's like, I'm a gold robot.
I'm a gold robot. I'm C-3PO.
I rap now.
I'm blinged out. Yeah, the first one came out in 1987-88.
Good times.
That's pretty wild.
I was 4. But I love that. I VHS'd it. My grandma was like champion pirate grandma. And she had like all the VHSs. And she would record them at the slow speed. So there'd be 3 movies on a tape, but they'd all be all blurry and chunky and like vaporwave.
Yeah, and they're saying that they don't believe that the original cast is going to be in it.
Of Short Circuit? No.
Yeah.
No way.
There's no way. There's just not no way. But
it's been like 30 years, yeah, for sure.
I almost have to agree with you. I almost wish they would like. You two make me feel old. I know, right? I almost want to say I wish they would just skip the first one and just remake the second one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like the first one was really just a teaser for the second one.
Prequel.
That would be dope.
Dayquil.
Dayquil it.
Where you have one of the other, like number 6 or something. Because there's other robots, and he was the one that went awry. There should be like another one that was like a good boy robot soldier, and like he turns later like in the field of battle or something. It's like a whole nother side plot.
You know what they should do? They should do one set in today's time, and it should be about Johnny Five's kids and how he can't relate with them.
Yeah, because in this side universe, after the second one, we've got robot intelligence.
Yeah.
So by that time, there's going to be other robots he will have mated. There will have been like his creations.
Little Johnny sixes.
Yeah.
And sevens.
Johnny Six.
Johnny Grandpa.
I brought you off of that workbench and I can put you right back on.
That's right. Now, how awesome would that be? That's the movie that needs to be made,
That'd be
folks.
so great.
That's the movie that needs to be made. That's the movie that we deserve.
Yeah, because there could be so many like fish out of water jokes about like this robots having like a new society and stuff and
Right?
trying to raise their dumb kids.
How do you connect without a modem?
I don't understand these modemless kids.
I don't understand.
They're LTE. I don't understand.
Yeah. 5Gs, that's too many Gs.
It's too fast. Gotta
Yeah.
slow down.
You can't spell anything with 5Gs. Guggenheim. Nope, that's not enough.
There's a new challenge to win a contest with us is to who spells the most words with 5 Gs in them.
With 5, yes. Yes, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. My guess is it would have to be Russian or German or something.
No, it must be English. A
English.
single word. Or a German word would be perfect, though. You're right.
Did you watch? It would be fantastic. Did you remember New Kids in the Hall?
New Kids in the Hall.
New Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall.
Dude,
excuse me.
you're talking about my favorite stuff, man. Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall was so
Kids
great.
in the Hall. No.
Canadian.
So, yes, Canadian. Right. They're from Canada. So they specifically are going to be revived for an 8-episode run on Amazon.
Heck yes. Because these guys are all still hilarious. Remember when Michael Ian Black, he would do all the I love the 80s, I love the 90s.
Yeah.
Best day ever stuff.
Yes.
That was so fun. He was so good at that.
Yeah. So I think I don't know. I didn't realize they had 5 episodes. They had 5 seasons, 102 episodes that spanned from 1988 to 1995, and then they also had their they had a movie.
Oh, no way.
Oh, dude, it's Brain Candy. I think it's called Brain Candy. If you have not seen it, it is an amazing movie. It's so funny. Absolutely worth watching.
I want to see Michael Ian Black do more stuff. He's like so
Dude, they're all really funny.
sleeping. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
They all are, though, for reals.
And I just realized, and I didn't notice this before, but the store manager from Superstore, you ever seen that
Superstore?
TV show? Yeah.
No.
His name is Glenn. But I think that's I think that
I can't
is-
believe I haven't seen this show. It's newer.
yeah,
That's
it's not bad.
Yeah, newer is not
It's not
immediately
great,
bad.
but let's see.
This is
You're
like
looking
a
for
single
the
camera sitcom, right?
you're looking for okay. So yeah, the guy in the khakis, in the khakis and the light blue shirt.
Dude, they're all wearing khakis
I know.
and blue, dude.
Onto
the
the
light
yes,
blue,
right there.
the light
yeah.
blue.
That guy. Yeah.
Hold on. I ruined it. I ruined everything.
Everything's ruined. What are we watching? Oh, this is when he gets interviewed. Okay. So
I'll bring up the dude. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
he's like manager.
manager guy. I think that's the same guy. I think that's one of the guys. Who is that? Does it say what his name is? We need to IMDb it.
It's this guy. You can't see
His
my
name is
cursors.
Glenn.
Glenn.
Yeah, hit up the IMDb.
Black.
But I think that
Is the character's name Glenn?
character's name is Glenn.
Mark McKinney is
Yeah,
the
so that
actor's
is.
name.
So Mark McKinney, yeah, he's actually from Kids in the Hall.
Oh. I don't recognize him yet. Crazy.
Mark McKinney is from Kids in the Hall. So I think that's pretty cool. Thor says, giggling guest?
Gigglingest.
Giggling guest?
Giggity.
That's pretty good. That ain't too shabby. Thor. I don't know if that's a word, but it looks good in theory. So I think that would be real. I didn't realize that he was doing the show. I just now realized that was him from Kids in the Hall.
Hey, you heard it. You heard it for here first. It's got that media recommending time over here.
Oh, it's time to pay the bills. Time to pay the Billy Bob Thorntons.
That's right. I had to close the vault of single camera knowledge.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and pay some sponsorships and some commercials. So just stick around with us and we'll get back to you now.
Let's give Ireland the soap it deserves. Introducing Dr. Squatch's Irish Cream and Whiskey Soap. Smooth and natural, like dropping a shot of whiskey and cream into a stout beer. You'll smell like a crisp, clean Irish morning with scents of whiskey and muck. With ingredients like potato water, reishi mushroom, milk thistle, Irish moss and stout beer. You'll feel like you're out celebrating with your lads at the pub.
Hey guys, listen up. Receive 20% off all orders $20 or more at Dr. Squatch when you use coupon code RVR20.
Whoa there, cowboy. Is your love life drier than a June sagebrush poking pricklies on a desert cattle's bunghole? Well, look no further, fella. The cavalry has arrived. Spunk Lube. That's right, Spunk Lube. This ain't your average romance jelly jam. Whether you're sharing a 10-up and broke back or flying solo, Tonto, Spunk Lube will have you slinging your Cyclops and whistling out your Dixie. For group parties playing cowboys and Indians or just a quick one around in the chamber, Spunk Lube gets you hydrated for those long rides of bumping uglies into the sunset. Don't put a bounty on your head. Drizzle Spunk Lube instead. That's Spunk Lube, partner.
Hey J9, you looking to get lucky tonight?
Why, do you know where I can get my lips on a dirty banana?
Do I? And I know where you can get your hands on a golden dong and pirate booty, giant clam, and even doorknobs you can get fresh with.
Is this place heaven?
No, this place is the Golden Tiki, 3939 Spring Mountain Road.
This sounds amazing.
The #1 tiki bar in Las Vegas, 3939 Spring Mountain Road, Golden Tiki.
Hey, it's Chairman James Riley from Rockabilly and Blues Radio Hour.
And this is Beth Riley from Boppin' with Beth.
Now, you can listen to my wife Beth here on radiovegas.rocks on Wednesdays at 10 p.m. Pacific for a focus beam artist, their influences and peers, and more.
And you can listen to my husband James on Tuesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific for modern and vintage rockabilly, blues, and whatever else he can get away with.
Now, I promise you'll like Boppin' with Beth better.
No way, they'll like Rockabilly and Blues Radio Hour better.
Boppin' with Beth.
Rockabilly and Blues.
I'm telling you, Boppin' with Beth.
Now, Mike is in the bathroom, so we're going to just bonus load you a little bit. Please just enjoy.
Hello, this is Michael Tiffany from Midnight Madness Radio. And if you're looking to hear some of today's best new rock, tune in to Midnight Madness Radio, Wednesdays, 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Radio Vegas Rocks.
Keeping you rocking from the 60s to today. We are radiovegas.rocks.
Blah, blah, blah. Welcome back, everybody. This is Two Clueless Dudes. I am your gracious host, Mad Mike, a.k.a. Junk McGee, and I am here with the was supposedly.
That's right.
So I think that's very, very, very cool. That we are back, and did you know
cool that we're back?
We usually do a History's Mysteries, and I don't really have anything for History's Mysteries, but I do have this. On this day, in 1945, because it wouldn't be a show without bringing this up, a gentleman by the name of Audie Murphy climbed a burning tank and schwacked Nazis with a 50 cal.
Burning like the tank, like the crawling around on treads tank, or like a water tank on a tower?
Like with the treads on a frigid January afternoon in 1945, Company B, 15th Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division was attacked on the outskirts of Holzwer, France, by 6 tanks and an estimated 250 German infantrymen who were determined to wrest the Bois de Redouire from the Americans. Probably just hacked that, but that's okay. Certain that his decimated company could not withstand the German onslaught, First Lieutenant Audrey L. Murphy ordered his men to fall back to safety deep in the forest. After After expending all his carbine ammunition at the enemy, Murphy himself prepared to fall back as well. Suddenly, he spotted a 50 cal machine gun on a turret of a burning tank destroyer. Knowing that his position had to be held at all costs, Murphy climbed on top and began firing the machine gun into the oncoming Germans. He'd get the Medal of Honor for this, in fact. That's pretty awesome.
That is our war story time.
Out there just...
It's like a non-mystery of history.
Yeah. He just was out there just schwacking some Nazis.
I mean, truly though, Hank, his biggest folly in life, I believe, was how often the History's Mysteries segment was less than mysterious.
It's true. Sometimes you need to have the mystery.
Yeah, not just the history. Yeah,
right.
That's gistery.
You got to have both. So, can you look this up? I wonder if you could find this.
I'm made of looking up.
There is... Type in Jurassic Park with Pee Wee Herman. It should be a little video, and it's amazing. And if you have not seen this, I think it will change your life. That is it. That is the video.
So, is this like a Pee Wee Herman replaces dinosaurs in Jurassic Park fan trailer? Okay.
Pee Wee Park.
Let me share this with y'all first.
And this is a must-see. You saw it here, folks.
You definitely got to support our sponsors because we're not going to be able to monetize this video with all our stuff that
we can give you
share.
We
with
can give
you
you sound effects.
Yeah, and for the audio listeners, so far it's Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling
we're gonna close the doors.
It says Pee Wee Park on the doors.
What did that
Nature's
say?
most powerful force. We thought we could contain it. That was so funny that they thought they needed like special VR gloves for. So there's Pee Wee popping out of an egg.
That's great.
That's great. It looks like a Salvador Dali video.
He's like, Pee Wee's.
Oh, he's popping around a tree with a.
Oh, that's the other guy.
That's the guy from Seinfeld.
Yeah, shaving can guy.
Is it Norman?
Norman. Oh, and his bike.
Oh, they're just seeing just Pee Wee's bike. Was it on Seinfeld? Was it the guy they all hated that looked like the other guy?
Norman.
Delivered mail. It was Norman.
It was Norman.
Why was I sure I was remembering that wrong? And of course, Ian Malcolm.
Yeah.
The bike. Pee Wee's on his bike chasing the. Oh, the lighting. And the fake tree shadows on Pee Wee as he's chasing them on his bike.
Genius.
I thought he was going to be giant and have a big mouth too. I don't know where I thought I was going. He just electrocuted the kid and was very delighted about it.
Whoever did this was pretty genius.
Yeah. Have tape on his face behind the window. When did you see this?
It just came to me. I mean, this is great. I mean, this is all based off of the first one, too, which is fantastic.
I love that we're a reaction show, tue. We're reacting to this for you.
Yeah.
So you don't have to deal with your own pithy emotions. We're emoting for you. That was really well done.
Right?
So basically,
he got bit by
He
Pee Wee
popped
Herman.
out of the floor, and the little girl was stuck above him as he was climbing out of the floor.
Pee Wee Park. Now, if that was a movie, I would watch that.
It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen anyone make from anything. Oh, how did the heat?
It's on, but
I've heard it
not
has to
the heat.
defrost. Like it hangs out for a few hours and then later it gets into it. Like it wakes up slowly, like that Jack Johnson song. We gotta wake up slow and make banana pancakes or whatever.
Banana-rama cakes?
Yeah.
I like banana-rama cakes. Who doesn't? Okay.
That's what I named my daughter.
So that's exactly what I named my daughter. So, are you big into the Jeep Wrangler? Jeep Wranglers? Do you know the Jeeps?
Yeah.
Jeeps?
You know, respect.
They are making a minivan.
Huh.
Jeep is making a minivan, and it is probably
It seems like a weird
one
way
of the
to do
ugliest
front
things you have ever seen.
I can't believe you're scooping me on car news.
Right? It's Jeep Wrangler based minivan. And they're trying to make it out like it's
Oh,
going to be
no.
this amazing
Okay,
thing.
I like it. Turns out I like it.
You like it.
Because here's my problem when you said Jeep minivan. I thought, well, the front isn't very efficient.
For a minivan?
Exactly. Like it's got the wrong front to make sense as a minivan. And I see this right away. The front's fixed and it looks sick. It looks like it would be on.
I think it looks absolutely hideous.
I love it. It's hideous in a way that I love, though, because I love Volkswagen vans. I love the
That's
80s
true.
ones.
That's exactly kind of what that reminds me of.
Yeah. And then that hard 90-degree angle on the windshield.
Yeah.
And then the windshield goes to like a complete flat front with like the Jeep kind of logo as the grill. And the way they perpetuated that with the, what's the little one? It's right here.
That's the Compass?
Something like that. Anyway.
Compass, a Renegade.
It fits. No,
Liberty.
Renegade's the long fella. Anyway. No, maybe that is the Renegade. That's a Liberty. I'm sorry.
That's a Liberty.
Yeah. So, okay, in a nutshell, I love how crazy off-roady it looks while still being very vanny.
It does, I mean, it is different, kind of like the marriage of both worlds, I suppose.
It's like they didn't hold on to the Jeep part that I thought wouldn't fit the design. They've got the signature front, and like something's got to be the front there anyway. So might
you know
as well.
that's going to be like $50,000.
I don't know.
Is it worth $50,000?
I give it 45. That's so dope. I mean, it's look at how its stance is so wide. I mean, it has to have fender flares. I've never seen anything van-like that's that wide. That alone has got me sold.
And you'll come with a. That's interesting. They're going to use a Pentastar V6, 3.6 liter V6, or an optional 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. I guess if you just want better gas mileage, but you don't care about doing anything that a Jeep can do. I mean, I just don't understand why you would. But it doesn't say what the prices are going to be. I was looking to see if it would say what we're looking at price-wise, but there's nothing to it yet. So I don't
you
know.
know what else is brilliant about this? So this is going more space, haul more people, and also looking very off-road capable.
Yeah.
And what it has to compete with is going to be cozy because you've got the...
It's competing with like Land Rovers.
It's going to be cheaper than the Land Rover and probably 10 times more reliable.
Or the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile.
It's going to compete with the Wienermobile for sure because a lot of people are looking at those.
Yeah.
In comparison to this, because that hot dog shape,
Cost
though,
effective.
it's again back to the efficiency of the design shape. The Wienermobile it's a dated design.
Yeah.
So let me bring up the Wienermobile just for context real quick. So Wienermobile, you can't just leave that on the table.
You can't.
There we go. So this, and also we're looking at the new Hummer. Have you seen the new electric Hummer?
Oh, yes.
So this is
the
kind
new
of like
electric Hummer. Yes.
Metaphorically a Wienermobile.
Looks a lot like the Wienermobile. Yeah.
It doesn't. I wouldn't say it looks as much like the Wienermobile as much as it feels like the Wienermobile to drive.
Nice.
I'm talking on Hummer folk, but real talk. It has, from the side profile, it's almost kind of muscle car-y.
Kind of.
Like it's got haunches like a Challenger.
And it's got a little. Is that like a little truck bed in the back?
Yeah. So it's got a truck bed in the back. Yeah, it's got this.
But
low
it's all electric.
All electric, 4 motors, and see the windows are short, but the doors are high.
Yeah.
So you get this low slung kind of muscle car-y vibe, but also it looks, it looks more muscular than off road, but the giant wheels. And then this, if you look at the design of the side of the wheels, how it looks kind of like astronaut gear.
Yeah, it does.
Or like some kind of drill an astronaut would use. The whole first edition is Apollo themed. So there's like a boot, a NASA boot print where you put your foot in the wheel well. There's like little lunar lander details.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Apollo Creed from Rocky.
That's the next one.
Okay, cool.
It's like guns. So the dashboard, you know how the dashboards are all screens now?
Right.
All the animations and graphics of the dashboard are designed by the people that designed Fortnite, the video game.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's got legit like video game graphics handling the control interface.
Why? But why would you get an electric off-road vehicle?
Oh, a ton of reasons. Well, off-road, you need torque more than horsepower, and electric's
Jeep,
torque monster.
30,000 parts made by the lowest bidder.
You can make your own power if you get stranded, you run out of
electric?
juice. You roll out a solar cell and just camp a day, and then you can drive home. You'd have to like get a like rollout solar cell, like get like an RV style one,
Yeah.
put a couple of those on the
Something
top.
from The Martian.
Yeah. Like there's a huge aftermarket opportunity here, but like the kind of solar cells you put on top of a camper, you've got space on top of this thing for 2 or 3 of those, or you just throw them in the back and unload them when you camp.
Oh my God!
Camp a couple days and you've got your fuel back.
What if I just figured it out?
Look at this convertible.
Let's say you
Come
take this bad boy out, right? You take it out. You're with your friends. You're partying down at the beach, right? But you've used all your electricity. You need to get home. This is where Hefty needs to come up with us, or Glad, or whoever. They need to make solar cups. They're solo cups that you can just leave out, and they just collect little energy, and you just plug them right into the car.
But all cuppy stuff. Maybe they can unfold like flowers.
Solar cups.
So I had a juice cup. That
Solo R cups.
It was an inverter that fit in the cup holder.
Oh yeah, I've seen
It
those.
was like 12 volts to 120 volts, and
do you remember?
I called it my juice
Men
cup.
Who Stare at Goats.
Yes.
And he has
One of
he
my
tries to
favorite
do the
movies.
thing to cook and it doesn't work. Men Who Stare at Goats is fantastic.
Have you seen the new? Speaking of the new Wrangler, have you seen the new Bronco?
Yeah, you know the new Bronco looks pretty cool, but I mean
It's not going to compete with that weird Wrangler.
No, but it is I was checking them out. They're basically made just off-roady type versions of it. I was hoping that they were going to make like a kind of like a street version of the Bronco.
Yeah, because you saw all the different versions. They're all kinds of like different climate zones more.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the way it's designed and like that kind of dynamic suspension, you'd be fine on the street with it. You just wear out your tires faster.
Yeah, you wear your tires, and you probably wouldn't have the gas mileage that you'd want.
No, but I mean, this is not going to come in electric anyway. I don't think.
No,
I'm not going to come in gas. I thought.
Oh,
no,
those are gas.
No, you're right. So yeah,
It's
gas
the
mileage would be a
Mustang
factor.
that they made electric, and that looks hideous. I'm sorry.
You don't like it?
It's not even a Mustang.
Okay, so it's
It
got.
it looks like
Can I try to turn you around?
It looks like a Ford Colt. Awful.
Dude, I love the Ford Colt though. That's the problem. The Colt's like an old style that I dig. If anything, you could say it looks too much like a Civic.
Yeah, it really does
Because
look like a Civic. It really does look
dead
like
on. Like from this.
like just a big chunky Civic.
Yeah, from this stance especially. Maybe that's probably why I like it. But like with less stupid extra fins that actually are dumb on the Civic.
Yeah, the Civic looks like it's been smushed in the back.
So here's why I want to turn you around on the Mach-E. When Ken Block hoons it, it'll break your heart. Shoot, I forgot to log in, so I got a quick ad. Because I usually...
For the
use my-
GMCC.
I bought YouTube Premium for you all, so you can see my...
Naughty bits.
So we won't have ads next time. Watch Ken Block hoon this thing, and then tell me you're not a little bit interested in this car. So get this. Jay Leno did an interview with the CEO of Ford about the Mach-E, which has 5 motors, by the way, and they're pancake motors. So they're flat and wide.
Okay.
Which is a really cool motor design that no one's messed with, like a layout for inside of a motor. Ford is talking about, the CEO is talking about making a crate motor version.
Interesting.
Where you buy a whole conversion kit, adapter plates on the third-party aftermarket. And I want to get something like that, get 1 or 2 of those pancake motors from the Mach-E, get the crate motor kit, and throw it in like a Civic CRV.
Just to see what would
Or
happen.
CRX, I'm sorry. The CRX is like a super baby Civic from like late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I remember CRX.
And it's got like a Star Wars look to it, almost like a Star Trek pod shuttle kind of thing. Super vapor, like a cyberpunky looking car.
Yeah.
And just turn that into like a tiny little drift puppy, all electric.
That's pretty dope.
So I got a scoot for
I'd
it.
like to
They're
put
just
I'd
talking.
like to put one of the Tesla motors in a Yugo.
Yeah, that's that kind of thing. But like the Tesla
Look at
motors
it.
are so
It's so
closed.
Chunky and big.
Yeah. But that's fine. The thing is, this is not as much of an supposedly this is an SUV style. It's really more of a fastback sports car style that's a little bit taller.
Yeah.
Crossover is really the term. And I think a lot of people are like, oh, because
It's a
the Mustang's a crossover, it's not a Mustang anymore. But I'm like, what about all the fastback Mustangs?
But
Just
at least
we
that
didn't have
still
the
had
tech.
a lower profile and it was small. I mean, Mustangs have been known for their dainty size compared
This thing is not big,
to the
though.
Camaro and the
Completely agree, but this thing
And the
is
Charger.
barely bigger than a Camaro. Camaros look so big for two-door. It's inefficient
Camaros
space.
are big and chunky looking to me.
Yeah, so I feel like the whole two-doors
New Mustang
that
looks
are
like a Pontiac
crossover
Aztec
size.
that's in the middle of transitioning. I totally agree.
Transitioning better. No, I can't believe we would bring up the Aztec when I was just talking about the CRX being dope because it's the same back end on Aztec and and like the dopest Honda. There's so many cool Hondas that have the same back end as the Aztec, and no one.
Wow. I don't know that anybody's ever used the word cool and Honda in the same sentence before.
Oh! See, now we're like different nationalities. Because
What are you? You're Japanese and I'm not.
yeah. I'm rice all day.
Right, I'll do it. The Honda's like, they make the NSX is amazing.
Okay.
You know, the Acura NSX, that's Honda. That's fantastic. Aside from that, there's not really anything out that is super impressive by Honda. I think there's things that are
impressive is in the price
reliable.
range too.
Yeah.
And like also the what you can do on a budget.
Reliability yeah, the
it's
budget.
kind of like Subaru is like killer, but
it's like the Volkswagen of Japanese cars.
Yeah, it's like supercar or hypercar.
Yeah.
There's no Subaru hypercar, but there's like budget supercars all day.
And then Toyota's kind of went all over the place.
Yeah.
So
it's like, if you go with like Subaru or like any American muscle car, it's like, let's do everything cheap ass
the
plastic.
Honda
in the
Element,
middle.
I do remember that.
Elements are dope.
Elements are pretty
See, that's a tent on wheels, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
In a big rectangular tent.
It was their answer. It was their competition for the FJ Cruiser, if I remember correctly.
I just feel like if someone didn't tell you it was a Mustang, and a lot of people looked at like some Mach-E shapes compared to some, like especially people
I think they were thinking
in
it
the
was a Hyundai.
Japanese cars. Yeah. Okay. And I feel like the Veloster is a little bit lumpy.
Right.
But like they're starting to figure it out. Have you seen like the new Veloster compared to previous ones? It's starting to look less like a weird stink bug.
Oh, is it really?
They're starting to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, because Honda has always had like design language that looks like they fell asleep halfway through a meeting on other companies' design language.
Right, yeah. And then picked up and tried to finish it.
Yeah, or like they
themselves.
copied these, like, let's make it like a Hyundai flavor of all these already ugly Toyota and Honda designs.
Yeah.
Because I gotta concede that there's some ugly Hondas and Toyotas.
There really are. They're just
Tragically.
I agree.
And, like, I love these companies to death, but not their design language per se.
Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan. Okay.
Stance.
So with that, let's get into.
Yeah, thanks for our car segment.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Okay. Captain Marvel 2.
Captain Marvel 2. We're
They
gonna
have-
sting our way to you, Captain Marvel 2.
They have announced, for those that do not know, they have announced in a way who was going to be the villain of Captain Marvel 2, which I found to be pretty interesting. It is looking like Rogue is going to be
A
the
villain? Oh,
Yes.
man, I hope it's one of those, like, love to hate. I love Rogue.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what methodology they're going to use.
It might be, like, a more complicated plot where, like, it's more of an anti-hero than or, like, not... You know, when you have a main character that's a protagonist, but also, like, the villain role, kind of like Cartman.
Yeah.
Like, you have a Karen role.
Yeah.
She'd be dope in that, because, like, you kind of love to hate Cartman. He's, like, not a bad guy that gets vanquished.
Right.
Per se. I'd love to see Rogan something like that.
So,
Mean Girl.
But I think that's really cool because that'll be the first. I think that'll be the first mixing of both mutant, the Fox mutants and, Marvel Studios. That'll be the first time that both have been used together. Do you realize that? There have not been mutants have been just mutants, and then everything Marvel's done is done the Inhuman route, or they've just been superheroes, or blah blah blah. But nothing has been a mutant explanation because they weren't allowed to, because Fox had the rights to all the mutant stuff.
Oh.
Now that they own Fox, they can do all of the mutant stuff, which is awesome. Which is why you're gonna get
real politics over fictional universes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that was basically what mutants were. They were hard and heavy into the real type of politics and
I always
identity
loved
crisis.
That about Marvel. I always thought that made Marvel stuff way more real. That they got into
They
some
honestly
real
they
lenses
use
of stuff.
they use the WWE methodology. Their villains, their heels and their faces all change and morph with the political landscape.
Yes.
They've always done a really good job about it. That's what keeps wrestling relevant. Yeah, did you just say complicated plot in reference to a Marvel movie? It could be. I'm not sure how. I don't know if it's going to be complicated, but I do think it's going to be.
Though.
I do think it's going to be interesting that we're going to be able to get those two, a mutant and a non-mutant, into the same universe, which is.
And also, like, to Marvel's credit, as far as more complicated plots, remember when superheroes were first a thing? Like after like the first couple like Superman movies, maybe I think it might have been like Spider-Man when like our modern era of superhero movies started happening. And that point, like when you had to imagine a plot later as complicated as like the two Endgame movies,
right? Or even Winter Soldier was fantastic.
You know
what I mean? Civil War was just that whole thing is all one plot.
Yeah,
that's amazing the way they did that. I mean.
Just from a storytelling perspective, although it's like not, it's for broad audiences and it's all written so that like young people can follow along.
Yeah.
That aside, the amount of effort gone into like that level of storytelling between like generations of movie shooting.
Yeah.
It was like you had this timeline that was to like see that far ahead and follow it through to the end.
Huge.
Is commendable.
Yeah.
It's like
nothing. You're not going to get like a Memento type plot from Marvel ever. You know what I mean? But
and like thinking back, like Memento is like everyone was so amazed about it, but it's like, is it that impressive of a plot now?
Yeah,
it kind of smells like a Shyamalan thing that we'd mock now, which was dope when it was dope.
It was cool then, but if Shyamalan had did it now, everybody would razz him for it.
Exactly.
Right? If Shyamalan decided to do
And
it.
I think that's something that kind of...
Guy Pearce, right? Guy Pearce.
Yeah. I was wondering what happened to Shyamalan. I think that might be a layer of it, is that like it's hard to live up to the hype anymore.
Yeah.
Like he can't outdo... He was like a victim of his own success.
Yeah. I think he did a really good job with The Sixth Sense, Signs...
Unbreakable.
Unbreakable is fantastic.
Signs is like hit or miss with people. I love it. It's very polarizing.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't get the campy humor in Signs.
Split.
Oh, I never saw Split.
That's the second one to Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
Oh, that's right. Because that was the one I missed in that
then
series.
Glass.
But then I saw Glass.
I haven't seen Glass. Glass is the one I need to see.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he did the what's the one with the underwater?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I really
a
actually
polarizing one too.
I really liked it. I can't remember the name of it, but it was really good.
It.
And The Village, I liked The Village.
I love The Village.
I mean, sure, maybe the ending.
What do you think of The Happening? No one spoiled the ending of The Village, and I didn't see it coming. Until close to what revealed it.
Yeah, and I thought that was great. I was fine with that.
Yeah, I had some fun with the fact that I got it towards the end before it revealed it. Some people were like, "Well, I got it before it revealed it." I'm like, "Yeah, he lets you."
My problem with the Happening was that nothing happened.
Yeah, but it was. I felt like it was too gory for me at the beginning, but then it was worth it for the suspense because I was just really when it kept cutting to scenes of like just wind and some plants blowing, and then back to like chaos. Something about that. Some people thought that was cheesy and were like whatever and rolled their eyes or whatever. It got me. I got those stupid just cutting away the wind and the plants. Something about the eeriness of the lack of anything there scared me extra.
The Happening, I was cheering for the lawnmower. And I feel like
it messed with my head. I watched it in the right head spot.
I feel like the people that were like, "Oh my God, those scenes of just leaves and rustling, that's genius." I think they went on to make that Bird Box movie.
Oh no!
Do you remember what it's called? With the lady from Speed.
Yeah, I heard all about. I heard too
Bird's
much about
Nest
it
or something.
No, it was called the Bird Box.
Bird Box, right? It was called Bird Box. Awful.
I couldn't watch it because it was one of those things that was so overhyped, and then all the descriptions made it sound boring. But people were so excited about it, so I felt averse to it.
It was weird because I watched it thinking, okay, well, this has kind of got a cool premise at least, right? It should be all right. No, it was awful. It turned out to be just pure trash. And it made absolutely no sense. And was so... This is the thing. The
descriptions about it made no sense.
Nothing bothers me more than when you get massive coincidences. Okay?
Yeah.
I do not like giant coincidence. Everything's a coincidence in a movie. That is not a good movie.
Yeah.
That's you basically just... why
it's
even
lazy
do this?
writing.
Yeah, it's lazy writing is what it
Yeah.
is. Why don't you just give them all fucking Vorpal swords and millions of dollars because you can?
Yeah.
That's kind of what I feel like. If you're not really going to actually have a correct process to it, why did you even write this god-awful fucking movie?
Yeah, I feel similarly about action movies that are just action. I'm just like, yeah, you guys can all fly or whatever.
Right. Give me something else.
Yeah.
Right? Give me something. I think that's the beauty of the John Wicks is it is an action movie. But they also give you a little something in kind of creating this running storyline and this background into kind of what is not really been touched on. And he's kind of creating his own little like assassin world in a way, you know? And it's kind of cool.
All right.
I ain't mad at him.
Yeah, I'm sleeping on those because I haven't felt like paying attention. It just seems like all kinds of scenes that you watch and like don't look away. I keep wanting to enjoy media that's less good, that I can be less engaged by, so I can do stuff during it. I feel like there's a real market for that.
There could be.
Greasy Conversation.
Cooking on High was what was on at my house.
Nice.
Yes, on Netflix. So you just put on and you forget about.
Yeah.
Because apparently you can win awards now by putting weed in eggs. I don't get it.
That's not as simple as it sounds. There's different weeds. There's different ways that oils at different temperatures can extract different terpenes. And there's some nuances.
Yeah, there's some nuances, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and pay some bills.
Yeah, we'll pay
Folks,
a couple.
We'll be right back.
Just a couple.
Hi, this is Janine from the Rock and Comedy Show, and I'm here to tell you why you should go to Heidi Hair Salon for all your needs. Last-minute appointments, beautiful color selection, beautiful results, professional quality, experienced stylists, professional products, plus my favorite stylist, Chris, works there. Chris is amazing to work with. He's very knowledgeable about extensions and how to do some corrections. Chris was an overall joy to work with, and he's super sexy to look at. The salon has 2 locations, and you could find Hottie Chris at both. 7871 West Charleston is the main location, but for those of you in Henderson, they have you covered as well. 8790 South Maryland Parkway. Call 702-979-4468 to make an appointment.
People love Dr. Squatch soap, and they want to share its glorious scent with everyone. But that can get awkward.
This is a little weird, even for us, but it smells amazing.
I agree, Mike, which is why Dr. Squatch is making all-natural handcrafted candles now. The same all-natural quality ingredients, now with a wood wick to transform your home into a squatchy paradise. Go to drsquatch.com and get your handcrafted Squatch candle today.
Hey guys, listen up. Receive 20% off all orders $20 or more at Dr. Squatch when you use coupon code RVR20.
Zip Fizz, energy, no sudden crash and calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix. Zip Fizz.
Grape Zip Fizz. Kind of give me the idea of sitting in the pool on one of them little floaty things with something nice on the side of me. You know, feeding me grapes or something. You know, Grape Zip Fizz.
Zip Fizz, energy, no sudden crash, 10 calorie, low carb, vitamin B, the healthy energy mix. Zip Fizz.
Behold.
Zip Fizz.
It's true, the fizz. Ratchet it, clank it back together.
Yeah.
It's 2 clueless dudes. We've attached the brackets and we've buckled our fasteners.
Brickety brack. Friggity frack.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Bringing it back.
Okay. So those know we're gonna keep going with my Marvel news here.
Marvel it.
There were talks between Marvel and the Netflix Daredevil Charlie Cox, and that turned from talks to they actually signed him. Well, and went so far as to not only did they sign him,
It's a different Charlie Cox.
Totally different Charlie Cox there. He is going to be in Spider-Man 3. There he is.
I.E.
I.E.
2 E's is another Charlie Cox.
Totally different Charlie
I
Cox.
don't know why I thought 2 E's.
Charlie.
That's a porn star, I think.
Hi,
Here we
Auntie
go.
Sherry.
Oh, Doe Eyes over here.
Yeah, so he actually is reprising his role as Daredevil and is going to be in Spider-Man 3. I don't know. I don't think it's a very big role. I think it might just be like a cameo or a coincidence type shot, or I'm not entirely sure how they're going to use him, but that alone was enough to make me really excited. And then they went and they made me even more excited by announcing that they intend on bringing back John Bernthal as the Punisher.
Bernthal, Punisher.
Now, they're not sure if it's going to be a continuation on the first two Punishers or if they are going to basically kind of rewrite some stuff.
Tall head. His head's really tall.
He is. John Bernthal is a fantastic Punisher.
His head doesn't look like a real human head. It looks like a...
He's the Punisher we all crave.
It looks like a CG head.
Yeah.
Look at how it's so tall. His head is so much longer than it is wide.
He's got mega head.
It literally looks like a jar. It's really cool.
Like he got it stuck in an elevator as a kid and tried to pull it out.
Mega head.
Mega head.
I bet he gets mega head.
So I was very excited to find out that they are bringing back the Punisher. Now, what I find really interesting about that is Disney is already, or Marvel's already kind of releasing a Punisher-like character in the form of Moon Knight.
Discipliner.
The Moon Knight is basically very similar because he's a former military mercenary. He's pretty brutal.
Is this with a K? Moon?
Yeah, Knight.
All right.
And the person they tapped is Josh Isaac, and he was Poe Dameron in the Star Wars movies. He's going to play Moon Knight, which I think is kind of interesting. I'm interested to see where that goes.
This character looks cooler than I expected.
Moon Knight is one of my favorite characters of all time ever. He's awesome. He's basically...
This moon-shaped knife thing is pretty cool.
So his whole thing is he was on this job. He gets betrayed by his buddies. They leave him to die in this Egyptian-type temple. And the Egyptian god of the moon, his name is Khonshu, basically says, hey, do you want to keep living? If you do, I'll restore your life, but you work for me. You'll be my avatar on this planet.
Wow.
And he basically says, yeah, okay, fine, I'll do it. But
it's a gig?
Yeah. But it causes him to have, he ends up with, schizophrenic kind of disorders and...
Also like working for Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. So, and, he has... And he's pretty brutal, and, he gets... I think he's, at night, he's a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, a little bit this, a little bit that,
Glow cape situation is sick.
Oh, he's dope. He's dope. And he can be all white and you don't see him.
Nice.
It's incredible. I mean, it's a real cool character.
Baskin. They're little Baskin Robbins over here.
And they just tapped to play one of the villains, I believe, Ethan Hawke.
Nice. Well, imagine if Keanu Reeves could be Moon Knight. Look at this.
He's going to be the lead
situation.
villain is Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, that's cool too.
Oh yeah, there was a big thing for Moon Knight to be played by Keanu Reeves. The problem is Keanu Reeves is just too old.
How much do we need to see Moon Knight's face? How young does Moon Knight need to be?
I figure Moon Knight's probably in that late 30s, early 40s. And
He could have been an older archaeologist.
Well, the problem is I think Keanu Reeves was closer to 55, hitting the 60s.
I don't know. You can smooth some of that. We'll get Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
It's Keanu Reeves. Come on.
It's Keanu Reeves.
The one thing we're going to miss with Hank is he knows a lot more celebrities' names. I keep up with you only a little bit, but we've got the chat helping out. We've got the community, thank goodness.
We do, yeah.
The community also brings up the fact that Jeeps aren't very reliable either. I know, for reals. That's why I like these ugly Japanese cars, because at least they stay together.
So with that, so also those that are interested in the DCU, we might as well just touch this now. So the Snyder Cut release date has officially been announced. Okay. Now, those who do not know, see Ethan Hawke movie to watch, Any Valley of Violence, and Gattaca. I'm pretty sure Ethan Hawke was in Gattaca with Jude Law. Right?
Ethan Hawke. Oh, dude, that movie's great. Yeah, Gattaca. And then, man, Ethan Hawke and Jude Law is so dope.
Yeah, great movie.
Man, you can't talk about Jude. Jude Law had such a good era. Remember when right at the same time he was on AI and then I Heart Huckabees in like the same couple years? Yeah.
I Heart Huckabees, great show. AI made me cry, actually.
So hard cry.
Yeah, great movie. But not so great movie. Zack Snyder's Justice League Snyder Cut will be released. Unfortunately, it will be released on the mass. It's going to be 4 hours, and they were talking about turning it into an hour a week. They were going to release, and it looks like it's going to be. Let's see what they say. They said it would come out early. This is what they said. The Snyder Cut would come out early in 2021. Himself stating that it would premiere in March. However, there's still this date actually has not been officially released. It's basically just Zack Snyder saying that he plans on a March release. I just think you messed it up so bad. It was so awful, and it's so funny. Dan Doran, double D's. He said
Dan Doran's a host, a frequent co-host on the Rockin' Comedy Show.
Yes. So he, what am I doing? Okay, so he sent me this YouTube video on somebody basically breaking down why Batman versus Superman was one of the greatest, deepest, hardest hitting superhero movies to have ever been created.
Like you can fix it. You can fix you can view it in a way that makes it good.
That's basically saying it's the greatest. The guy basically says it's the greatest superhero movie ever to be made.
Yeah, I'd love to see how this was argued.
So the argue is they basically go off of the whole God, people believing that Superman's a god. But the thing is, I don't think that they did a very good job of hiding that characteristic. I think it was pretty obvious. He pushed a little too hard to make people believe that he was a god, and then he was not a god. He was a false god, right? I don't know about you, but if I saw a dude flying around with laser beams and all of a sudden a giant ship shows up and tries to terraform the planet, and then the guy with the laser beams fights the other guy with the laser beams, and then the one guy with laser beams wins, I would not be like, oh my God, that's a god. I would probably go, that's an alien.
Yeah.
I think it's too easy. So that's why that's why that whole thing for me, I don't buy it. It doesn't work.
Because the plot depends on people thinking this alien is a deity.
God. Exactly.
And not an alien.
But I don't think,
people are unrealistically dumb.
That movie is pretty good evidence there might not be a god. Right. I agree.
They would allow this.
Just to allow it to have happened. I mean, it's true.
There's certainly no God that's like allowing or disallowing anything.
Zack Snyder may be the Antichrist for all we know. I don't know.
There's no divine compliance at stake here.
But I felt like the plot, they're trying to say, oh, it's amazing that it was this whole God versus, not being a God and blah, blah, blah. To me, that's just super shallow.
Yes, absolutely.
And I didn't like it. I didn't think it fit. I would have never been convinced. And I just have to look at everything through it's weird having to look at a plot through a shred of common sense. But the difference is I looked at that and went, this is awful. This doesn't make sense. You could look at something like Winter Soldier and you go, okay, I get it. This makes sense to me. In a superhero kind of way, there could easily be this evil Russian agent that has been brainwashed, and there could easily be this evil form of take over the world people that have infiltrated our own military intelligence. I get. I understand the and then the superhero Cap becomes the bad guy. I think
also there's mutants, so that's part of a thing,
right?
And okay.
I feel like that. I get. Even the whole Civil War thing on why the two sides fought each other. I get it. I understand both their points of view. That's a great movie. I don't understand what the fuck anybody was doing in Batman versus Superman.
Why did
Other
that
than they
even
had some
happen?
weird
It was like,
gagging.
how do we use this license before we get charged too much for holding on to it for too long?
And it's another movie where there's a giant coincidence, and I don't
Oh, is
like it.
there?
The Martha.
I don't know.
And so they're fighting each other. Batman and Superman are fighting each other. And Batman says something about Martha. Martha Kent is Superman's mom, but it was also Batman's mom was named Martha.
Okay.
So they have like this lucid, like, pee-pee touch moment where they're like, wait, your mom was Martha? Shit, my mom name was Martha. Did we just become best friends?
That's so stupid. I forgot someone told me about that, and that ruined me wanting to see the movie too. Like, that's just the thinnest thing. It sounds like a middle schooler plot.
So Duff brings up something else. Easy letting Gal Gadot have a couple minutes of screen time. Gal Gadot she's crazy sexy, incredibly gorgeous woman. The first Wonder Woman I didn't like. I thought it was okay at best, but it really kind of felt like a real shitty knockoff of Captain America. And I didn't much care
like
for
the
it.
DC
I thought
game
the
is
villain,
like
yeah, exactly. The
DC's
villain didn't work
knockoff
for
syndrome.
me. The plot didn't work for me. So now they released Wonder Woman 1984. It was, without a doubt, one of the worst movies I think I've ever had to sit through. And I had to sit through it because I paid $14.95 for the HBO Max or whatever it is. So I was like, I know, I'm going to watch this.
Did it give you some fun retro vibes?
No. I mean, kind of, because they have this really cool, like, mini mall scene.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's, they're drinking from the stands. So, like, there a little bit. So there were, like, some little points where you're like, 80s, yeah. But for the most part, it was just bad. I mean, just bad.
It's like, who is your market?
I can see why they decided to not release it in the movie theaters. It was a blessing for them.
And like, so clueless, because the people with the right age kids for that would have been way more nostalgic about like the early 90s than that early 80s, the first half of the 80s. Like, if it's like a Wonder Woman 95, okay, then you're grabbing the parents of the kids that would be into that franchise.
Right.
You're timing it better. 80s is like done. You boomers, you think it's still Gen X time? What's going on?
It don't make no sense.
It's like deep past Gen Y at this point. Like, the 80s are 10 years ago.
And here's the right.
Yeah, we should be messing with the 90s now if we're following the same cycles and these people knew anything about like cyclical nostalgia marketing. But they don't. It's DC. They don't know what they're doing.
They don't. Right. They have
They're
no
just like,
idea.
oh my gosh, we have IP. We need to use this license quick.
They broke their own rule when they made 1984, because you've got Wonder Woman going around doing all these things. She exists, and still Batman has no fucking clue who she is. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah, and it bothers me that there's these like spin-off stupid Batmans, because like Batman is so sacred to me.
Right,
Batman's like the one good DC property in my eyes, and like
the one thing you
I
couldn't
love
touch.
all the Batman movies.
Me too.
And I don't know why they're so much better than all the other DC things, but like even the bad Batman movies, I love them.
Yeah,
and like think they're
Batman
still the
Forever is
best.
still one of my favorites, and I mean,
Absolutely,
it's ridiculous, but it's cool because
and the time it got me, I was the perfect age for it too.
Yep,
It was
yep.
just so edgy and cool for me. And then.
But you're absolutely right, Duffster. 1984 is unwatchable even with the eye candy. And what they do to the villain, one of the villains, is absolutely I mean, somebody needs to go to jail.
What happens
for that?
So I don't have to watch it.
There's a character. I think her name is like Tigress or something like that, and they basically make her into like, you don't know that it's that character, and then all of a sudden the character at the very end of the movie takes on all of these feline like properties and is like that character now, and you're going, wait, huh? This is awful. What an awful setup. So it was bad. Just beginning to end, bad. It's one of the movies I think 30 years from now we will see on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, for sure.
I really do think so.
Can we talk about like that's totally makes me think of like the later, really all the Transformers movies from.
Oh my God!
Like we all loved the technical.
They should
like,
have just released those onto Mystery Science Theater 3000.
I think the first one was fun for the excitement of like the novelty and the nostalgia and like what a great technical achievement it was, like visually.
Yeah.
And how
but
cool.
Leave it alone.
Yeah. But the rest of them, looking back, it seems like they were only made
for Hasbro.
Exactly. And not only that, but they got the world record for the most advertiser involvement in the videos, and I think it's the second one or the third one.
Oh my God!
Has the record for the most placement scenes.
Yes.
Like there's a part where Mark Wahlberg grabs the Bud Light.
Dude, it's
and like,
so
it makes
bad.
no sense, and like doesn't all the action stops for Mark Wahlberg just to take a moment and drink a random spilled Bud Light and throw it dramatically down.
And then I remember that one specifically because I was like, this movie's awful. Except they had this one character that was decent. And then they killed him off. I was like, well,
who was that?
The guy from Silicon Valley. That was Mouthy. He was like the comic relief. And then they just decided to kill off the comic relief.
That's so dumb.
I was like, what do you... Oh, God, now I have to suffer through another hour of this without that character?
I just hate...
It would have been like Ant-Man without the Mexican guy.
The whole Allspark thing and the...
Yes, apparently more than Josie and the Pussycats.
There was just terms in the show that seemed so cheesy.
Well, you know, he's got the rights for Thundercats.
How are we sleeping on that?
Right? Well,
that could really make some money until all the people that watch that are dead.
Yes.
Because, like, that's too old for me, and I'm no spring chicken.
Right?
Yeah, when we were little kids.
Thundercats, ho!
That was in reruns when we were, like, the right age for it.
Wow. Is that old, huh?
For sure.
Voltron?
That was another one that, like, it didn't rerun much where I was at, and I was too young for it when it was coming out.
I had the Thundercats
we were
Power
in, like,
Wheel.
Early diapers for that. And you know what? Thundercats was new and we were like diapers-ing it, but like I don't remember anything.
I was
from
4.
that. Yes, I don't remember anything that was happening at 4. I saw reruns of it later.
I loved it. I mean, you try to watch it now and you're like, ugh.
But like they're running out of time to capitalize on that IP before it's like before they have to reintroduce it to people.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm curious to see if that actually.
I want a gem in the holograms.
Gem in the I think they did try to do that.
Have you ever seen tried to rewatch any episodes of that? They have the thinnest, most oversimplified plots ever.
Like Strawberry Shortcake or Care Bears?
Simpler.
Wow.
Like old Smurfs kind of simple plots. Like sharing is caring. Oh, that bad guy ran off with the master tapes. So pretend to be adult, make the kids feel like they're watching some soap opera with adults going to recording studios and driving cars. But then the plots would just be like, oh, he's bad. He stole tapes.
He stole tapes.
Where is he? There he is.
Don't steal tapes, kids.
And the simplest, super, super simple stuff. So it's so cheesy. So there's no plot hardly at all besides the overarching premise of this mother in the computer kind of thing. So but man, it could be a sick movie because they could do anything with it basically.
So speaking of another movie from our childhood.
They did remake Gem? Oh, we've got a...
They did remake Gem. Yeah. I thought so.
So, do it again.
So another movie from our childhood that it's not actually getting remade. It's getting, I guess, a sequel. Another sequel. A sequel.
Truly outrageous.
Called Game Changers.
Okay.
And the name of the movie series stars Emilio Estevez in The Mighty Ducks.
Oh, so another Mighty Ducks?
Mighty Ducks Game Changers.
There's few things that ever happened that I cared less about than The Mighty Ducks. I heard it was okay, though.
Apparently, it was a big investor presentation on it last year, and there was a little tease for the upcoming Legacy sequel. Unfortunately, it was never officially released outside of the presentation, but today, there's actually now a teaser trailer which finds the Mighty Ducks becoming the opposite of everything they used to stand for. So pretty interesting.
Man, Mighty Ducks. I was so bored with that initially that I started looking up this Gem and the Holograms. So this apparently happened in 2015?
Yeah, and it's actually going to be a new series. The Gem, yes. I knew it came out sometime.
I wanted it to be like animated again. I didn't know there was like a live action one. I feel like that this would be way cooler, just 100% CGI, like almost Pixar status.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the way to do. Because one of the cool things about the show is that it had impossible camera moves. Like the camera would like spin and gimbal around them, and they would like spin, like kind of like the way music videos would end up looking in the future.
Yeah,
it was really forward thinking as far as the animation was like really garbagey, but the swinging angles were really innovative. And like you can only now do that in live action. Like since maybe like the Speed Racer movie is probably one of the first movies that I saw cameras really spin around the characters.
Speed Racer.
That would make a gem, as you'd have to have the dramatic angles and like that feeling of stage time that's just surreal. Like you're flying around the stage and crazy, like aha video kind of way.
So the Mighty Ducks isn't actually going to be a movie. It's going to be a series, an 8-part series.
Yeah, and that's how Gem should be,
Yep,
too.
Matrix is coming out. It's another one kind of from my teenage youth, I suppose. I fucking hated The Matrix. I'm not even going to lie. The first one was like, okay.
I was really
the second and the third
disappointed.
one. The second one was so bad.
Yeah.
I actually watched the movie in the movie theater at the Palms, got out, and then yelled at the manager for like 30 minutes because he was like, "Well, you want your money back?" I was like, "No, you keep the money. I want my 2 hours back."
Yeah, the second one was especially disappointed because there was that in-between thing that was good, but like short. And it made it seem like the second one was going to be more like that and cool.
Yeah, it was not.
But the first one lost me as soon as everyone was batteries. Like,
right, that was kind of weird,
people
right?
aren't being like for thinking
Like-
units or something. There's so many other things you can use the people for,
Right?
and still have the metaphor
Batteries?
work.
Yeah.
But just batteries. Like I can make a better battery than some
Yeah, but the
stupid
potato.
goo person. Yeah, the hoses coming out and stuff. It just it was like not all the way thought out, and yet massively overhyped. Just like talk about deep in the shallow end, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where they went. All right, let's go ahead and make our final commercial break.
Yeah, just a couple more, just a little bit of fizzle for you.
Just a little woohoo.
Do it, woohoo.
Woohoo.
Fresh chips and salsa? Yes. Fresh tableside guacamole made the way you like it? Hey, throw a little hot sauce in there. How about the fresh tableside flaming fajitas? Well, friends, are you hungry yet? Ready for the best Mexican food in Las Vegas? Then head on down to Juan's Flaming Fajitas and Cantina. They have two awesome locations, 9640 West Tropicana and also 16 South Water Street in Henderson. Flavors inspired by traditional Mexican dishes like chile rellenos, carnitas, enchiladas de mole, and of course, their famous sizzling fajitas. From tender marinated meats and seafoods to vegetarian dishes and authentic desserts, Juan invites you to come and enjoy your next meal at his restaurant and cantina. Juan's Flaming Fajita and Cantina, 9640 West Tropicana and also 16 South Water Street in Henderson. Don't forget to wash down the food with some delicious cocktails like Manuel's famous margarita or our favorite Tres Amigos tequila. Happy hour every day from 3 to 6 p.m. That's Juan's Flaming Fajita and Cantina, 9640 West Tropicana and also 16 South Water Street in Henderson.
You're home. You're a diabetic. You need supplies, but you don't want to visit the pharmacy. What do? Call US Med for home delivery of your supplies. If you have diabetes and you're worried about going to a crowded pharmacy, pick up the phone in the safety and comfort of your home and let US Med deliver them to you with free shipping. And now if you test your blood sugar 4 more times a day and inject insulin 3 or more times a day, you may qualify to get a new continuous continuous glucose monitor at little or no cost, which may eliminate the pain of pricking your fingers and helps you make smarter diabetes decisions. Plus, we'll send you a 90-day supply and bill your insurance company for you. Get some peace of mind. Call US Med today.
800-451-4785. 800-451-4785. That's 800-451-4785.
The suspense has been killing you, but we are back.
And we're going to bring you back to life from that suspense. That's right.
That's right. So we've been talking about things that have, we've watched when we were kids, and we are now older, and they're bringing a lot of the stuff back. Well, one of the things that was big from my youth was Mortal Kombat, the video game. I loved the first movie. The second movie was garbage.
Can you believe Raiden was like a kid in the second one?
Oh God!
What was that young ass Raiden?
That was because the original Raiden he went legally blind.
That's tragic, but
Yeah.
you could have cast someone the right age.
Right? Yeah.
I none of the other characters were weirdly young. It wasn't like Teen Titans reboot Mortal Kombat. Wasn't like what,
Right.
Tiny
Titan-
Toon Adventures, Mortal Kombat.
So there's a new Mortal Kombat movie coming
Muppet
out.
Babies, Mortal Kombat. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm done.
They are rebooting Mortal Kombat, and they've only shown little snippets. It's going to be released on HBO. I don't know when, but
this could be really good.
It looks. So apparently, the beginning fight scene is between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
Oh my gosh, did they finally actually cast Asians for the Asian people in this?
Yes.
Freaking finally.
And it's going to follow the storyline of basically this washed up MMA fighter. They're introducing a brand new character who's basically tying.
That's smart because it revitalizes the game franchise then too.
Yeah, but it's got it's like Kung Lao's in it, Liu Kang is in it, Shang Tsung is in it. It shows Jax right there. We already know that. Basically, it shows and it's supposed to have like fatalities. It's supposed to be very gory. It looks very dark.
Huh.
But there's there's Sub-Zero right there. I think Sub-Zero is actually the bad guy.
Cool.
I think he is a villain, whereas Scorpion is not. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm wondering if I'll like the movie or not, but I'm really stoked what it's going to do for the games franchise.
You know, it looks brutal.
Because I love the games.
It looks brutal. It looks decently cast. So I'm excited to see where they go with it. You know, Kano doesn't look like that. You know what I mean? Kano looks different.
I hope it has some. I like how Marvel balances in some humor.
Yeah. Hopefully, it has.
If it has some of that, how great would that be?
No, it'd be good. It'd be necessary.
Some light in the moments with these characters. Well, there's a history of that in the game, so there should be.
Yeah.
I mean, the game went really silly for a minute.
It's true. It
with
did.
The babality and stuff.
It did get very
It was
silly.
so funny though.
Dude, but I loved the first. I loved that first Mortal Kombat movie.
I did too.
The fight with the reptile was awesome.
I wonder if it holds up because I don't remember it at all. I just remember being excited. It was like,
you know what? I think that's going to be our homework for
it's
this
like
week.
adolescent. Rewatch the first Mortal Kombat. I don't know.
It does carry an R rating. The Duster said, excited only if it carries an R rating. It is going to be R. And they said they had to work hard to make sure that they got the R.
What,
But there's supposed to be some very gory
the
fatalities.
fact that
in
they
it.
had a hard time getting it to R means I'll probably like it.
Right?
Because I'm less gory as a person. But campy gore, I'm cool with it.
But apparently the whole beginning scene is just this massive fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
That's the thing is
before they were Scorpion and Sub-Zero.
The gore in Mortal Kombat I always thought was so funny because
Yeah.
it's so hyperbolic. So
It's true. Just like they
Evil
announced
Dead or something.
The new Deadpool is going to be rated R, which is very cool.
Yeah, Deadpool didn't feel like a violent movie, even though people died every 5 seconds, because it's just so hyperbolic. It feels like it doesn't feel like a real
They
universe.
actually had somebody die in a wood chipper. That really happened.
They had to actually put a person in. They got a cadaver to
Again.
donate. It's a medical donation.
Yeah.
Imagine that permit.
Yeah, imagine thinking your body was going to science. You know?
There's a new checkbox if you live in Southern California where You can be part of a movie prop.
Movie prop. Science, cremation,
Movie
prop.
prop. Checking all those boxes.
Yeah.
Whatever's near. If I'm closer to the movie studio, that's what you get. If I'm closer to some kid dying, he gets the organs instead.
Yeah.
Divvy it up.
Divvy it up. Take the organs and then sew me back up with some sand and then send me through a wood chipper.
There we go.
Figure it out.
For film science.
Film science. So, okay. Also, now we've kind of covered, Mortal Kombat, and they're going to have a slew of characters. I think that I don't know who the main villain technically is, but it looks like it's going to be Shang Tsung. I don't know if there's going to be anybody. I know there were some other villains that have come up. I'm not super hip with the new Mortal Kombats. I don't know that much about them, but
do you think the movie? Here's the real bet.
Yeah.
That people can cash in on or not is if the movie is going to contain some of the later characters that were named after like myths and errors.
Oh right, yeah.
Because there's one character. I'm spacing on the full story, but they found his name in the code, and it was like
the Noop Saibot. Is that who it was?
No, it was a different one that was like
empty.
It was empty set or something. Like it was like the term for there being no character, and they ended up naming a character that because of the lore about this character existing.
Interesting.
When it was just like a placeholder term in the code for when there was no character there.
Interesting. I wonder who that was or what.
I'll get the deeds.
Yeah. Well, that's the other. That was It's tough because I feel like they did a really good job with the first Mortal Kombat with all the characters. The second one, I think they did way too many characters way too fast, and it just bogged everything down.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Ermac.
Oh, Ermac.
Yeah, Ermac is a fictional character that was.
Yeah, and Ermac, there's a couple of other ones too.
Yeah, he was added later after there was all this lore about him existing when he didn't exist. They just decided to make him exist.
Yeah,
it's a crazy, crazy backstory.
All my buddies are got. I think it's like Mortal Kombat 11 is what they're up to.
It was in the diagnostics menu of the 1992 original game.
Abacab, to get the blood code. ABAC, ABB.
Okay, yeah.
That way you could activate the blood. Otherwise, there was no blood in the game. You're like, the game is not cool unless you have the blood.
Yeah, I remember on the Super Nintendo, you had to turn that on because it was like you weren't cool then.
Oh, so you could just turn it on Super Nintendo? On Genesis, you had to use a code.
That's the thing is, I remember that. I think that code you had to use on the Super Nintendo too.
Oh,
to turn it on, yeah. You had to code it up. Correct us if we're wrong. Like, grab your emulator and let us know.
So what about? Were you ever a Star Trek fan?
Heck yes.
So Star Trek Next Generation, it's a thing.
Especially that Picard era.
So Michael Dorn.
Yeah, that's number one.
No. Michael Dorn was Worf.
No, Michael Dorn was Worf. Yeah, that's right.
He is pitching a Captain Worf series.
That would be sick.
That would kind of be cool.
I'm just really happy to see someone that played such a legendary character for so long be willing to revisit it again.
Reprise the role. It's tough. You'd be surprised when people just don't.
Yeah, a lot of people don't, and that's really cool of him to want to go there. I mean, that's like, I was a little kid when he was doing that.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. I know that they've got the new Picard series, which has number 2 in it now, or number 1, I mean.
Yeah, I haven't. Riker.
William Riker, who was like my favorite character as a kid.
I know, I loved him too.
But I haven't watched any of it because it's on that stupid CBS All Access, and you have to pay for it, and I never will.
My mom gave me her code to watch it, and I haven't yet.
Oh no,
I'm
you have
being
to
a
watch
bad
it.
son. No,
You have
I
to watch
have
it for
homework.
both of us. That and Mortal Kombat. You have to rewatch Mortal Kombat.
I'm gonna go ahead and just do the Star Trek one.
You just skip right to
I'm
it.
not gonna rewatch Mortal Kombat unless we make a party of it.
So look up Willy's Wonderland.
That's
trailer.
Is this a porn?
It's the trailer that everybody has been waiting for.
Oh, please tell me this is about Willy Wonka.
It is not.
What?
That's it. This is the movie that
Willie's
everyone
Jeeps?
is waiting for. This is a commercial. But after this commercial, here it is. If this
Let
doesn't
me make sure everyone can see.
If this doesn't blow your mind, Screen Media.
Oh, hey, it's got that recipe for success.
Yep. Nick Cage.
Dude. Why does he have to pull his glasses slowly down and look over the top of his sunglasses? He ain't in bad shape for how long it's been.
Right?
How does Nick Cage look exactly like he looked like, I don't know, 8-10 years ago?
Right?
When he's cleaning in the dramatic way.
It's your birthday.
So It's Your Birthday was written in blood on a mirror. Oh, this is like Five Nights at Freddy's. No way. I wonder if they owe any licensing. Well, this is crazy. Oh, so are you familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's?
I am not.
So I just barely started kind of figuring out the deal, but it's a video game that has animatronic characters kind of like the ones that were in Chuck E. Cheese, Buzzy's Pizza Circus. Do you remember Showbiz Pizza Palace?
Yeah.
So they all had different animatronic characters, and there's this homologation of them, and they you have to be like a night guardsman at one of these places, and the robots come and scare you and stuff. And they've made all kinds of like lore and fan videos and music videos around the lore of this game. My goddaughter Lizzie is like super into it. So
that's cool.
She's gonna dig that movie.
I think that Willy's Wonderland is Nicolas Cage versus evil animatronics.
Oh my gosh, is that? Oh no, okay. For a second, I thought that was Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk.
How cool is he? That looks like him. I think that's Bob Odenkirk. His eyes, yeah, dude, Bob Odenkirk, yeah. Are we
Bob
watching the same
Odenkirk
thing, or is this
punching things?
I think this is a different movie with Bob Odenkirk in it.
Yeah, and a gun.
Yeah,
and a wall.
I've heard there's a Bob Odenkirk punches walls movie.
And he rides a bus.
He totally.
And he watches a guy get stuff kicked out of his hand.
Hell yeah, he's riding a bus.
And guy steals somebody's wine. Guy pulls out a knife.
He just
lets all of his
drop the bullets out of his gun, and he's just that was a dumb swing of the punch from the other guy, just like arm out swing. I mean, I'm pretty nerdy and I know how to not swing that way.
I'm trying to understand what this movie is.
He just messed that guy up with his wrist. That was not the best edited fight scene.
Yeah,
I love Odenkirk, but you know what's kind of realistic or like real fight would happen in the bus though. Like not everything's gonna land that well, but that still it looked like his wrist bent pretty. This is why you don't watch these silent.
Yeah, right. Because you just nitpick everything. I just don't know how I feel about this.
Bob Odenkirk can do no wrong.
That's interesting. What's that movie called? Bob Odenkirk does Dallas. Eddie. Wait, is it called Eddie? No.
Kirk.
Gonna be it.
Odin. Bob. Here we go. Boss Baby 2.
Is that what this is?
Apparently this is multiple videos strung together.
Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. I was like, wait a minute.
This is out of control. Wow. Bob stars in Badass remake. Badass.
Oh, is that what it is? It might be it might be a Badass remake. I don't know.
That's what we're being told by our correspondent.
Good old Waz dropped the ball. He can't even find it now.
No, I stopped looking.
He's like, I'm done with you.
We're at the tail end. We've got to wrap the bow on it. Do you have any plugs and final notes for the audience?
Well, if you need your car detailed, hit up at Clean Kong LV or cleankonglv.com. Clean with a K. Clean Kong.
Kong, K-O-N-G?
You'll go bananas for their
Clean
service.
Kong.
That's right.
All right.
That's right. So check them out. They're on Facebook.
Bananas? There's so much cross promo there.
Tons of cross.
That's Tide branding.
I will give you this. I think this was pretty good. So 4 men have gotten mouth ulcers for eating 30 kilos of oranges at airport to avoid paying extra baggage fees.
So
Would you eat 30 kilos? 4 people eating 30 kilos.
They're like...
It's like 10 pounds a piece.
They didn't want to pay extra fees, so they teamed up on enough...
30 kilos.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that. It's insane.
Of oranges.
They're
and
lucky they
ate them
just
all.
had mouth ulcers. You know, they can tear up your stomach.
Yeah.
I have a funny story real quick.
Yes.
So I was in the missionary training center.
You were a missionary, okay.
To become a Mormon missionary.
Missionary.
The year was like 2001. And they would make you watch a video about what to not do in the missionary training center.
Yeah.
And one of the largest, most overemphasized segments was not to have a tray covered in orange juice glasses and not to do the orange juice challenge.
Don't do it.
Yeah, because you would have diarrhea for at least a day.
Wow.
From drinking that much orange juice. Because so many people would come from places where their family couldn't afford to get them orange juice all the time.
And they would just go nuts drinking orange juice.
Yeah, including me. I would still be like, well, maybe 4 glasses. And it catches up with you.
You know, the only thing that I've ever can say that I drank and gave me instantaneous mud butt was Yoo-Hoo's.
How many?
Goes in one way, comes out the exact same the other.
Not compatible with Yoo-Hoo's.
No, I am not Yoo-Hoo compatible.
Good times.
One Yoo-Hoo is all it takes. One Yoo-Hoo is all it takes, and they taste great.
Are they still around, man? Maybe you're not the only one.
They gotta be. They gotta be. I don't know. I'm sure they've probably had some kid shit himself into a coma by now, but
worth it.
And maybe a lawsuit there. But I think they got it. They're still. Do you remember Orbits? It was like a soft drink, and it came in a clear thing, and it had like little tapioca.
Yeah, just barely.
And it was tasted awful. They were just awful. You don't remember those? They weren't out for very long.
There was a Japanese drink. Tell me if you guys have had this, where you push a marble into the lid.
Ramune.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love Ramune. It's so tasty.
So fun.
And it's actually fairly low in sugar compared to a regular soda.
Yeah, it's good.
So it's not a bad gig. And it's fun. Yeah, with the little metal
fun.
ball.
It's kind of like Crystal Pepsi.
I remember Crystal Pepsi.
I still have one sitting on the shelf going bad.
No way.
Not an OG one, when they brought it back a few years ago.
Okay, yeah, the reboot.
Yeah.
I liked the Crystal Pepsi. I thought it was cool. But then when they did the reboot, I didn't get any. Because as I got older, I realized I don't actually like Pepsi at all. Neither do I like Coke.
Yeah, I don't keep soft drinks in the house.
Yeah.
It's too risky in the house.
If they're in there for too long, they go hard.
Yeah, and then
They're no
what?
longer a soft drink.
Yeah, a hard drink, break your teeth.
Right? Shatter them.
Yeah. Then you drink your teeth dust, and then what?
Ugh. Yeah, that's it. You're stuck.
Few things are more toxic than
slobber in a gobstopper.
The dust of your own teeth.
Teeth dust.
This is how we send them off.
That could be another movie.
Don't
Tooth
forget.
dust.
Nothing's more toxic than the dust of your own teeth.
How?
That's like your send off, like your Schwarzenegger term when you before you shoot the enemy. Nothing's more toxic than the dust of your own teeth.
Love it.
That's hard.
Hard.
So hard.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the show tonight. We will be back next week. Hopefully the Hank can figure things out with his lawyer and maybe get out on probation.
Pray for the guy.
Good behavior.
Toss us some prayers. Toss a prayer.
When he gets out of the hospital and out of prison.
Yeah.
Toss him a prayer.